G'day guys, welcome to episode 68 of Ask Jack D. Today I extend a bit of an argument we've been having over Twitter with the lovely Karina around my philosophical view of life is led by choice and not by chance. Karina disagreed. Here I articulate why I believe life is truly led by choice and not by chance, and it's not the events that happen to us that count, but rather the meaning we associate with them and who we become as a result. Check out the episode at the end in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Is life led by choice or by chance? Let it roll. G'day guys, welcome to episode 68 of Ask Jack D. Thank you for tuning in. I am a little bit happy and heartfelt and a bit of a sook today, and the reason is because I've been waiting for this day for a long time. Today I am picking up Bear. His name's Bear. He's 8 weeks old today. This is what he looks like, and me and Aoife are going to go pick him up very shortly, and he is the new member of my family and the new member of the Entourage family, because he will ultimately become our mascot, won't he? He'll be at events, he'll come to the office with me every day, or whenever I'm here. He'll come to meetings with me, he'll be at Scalable and Saleable. My new buddy. I'm excited too. We're welcoming Bear to the family today. So we're excited about that. I'll bring him in Monday's episode, I'll show him to you guys in the flesh. Little Bear is back. Okay, today we're taking a question from Twitter from Karina. Now, this is an interesting one, and I don't know exactly. So I posted on Twitter, life is led by choice and not by chance. Karina replied, sometimes you have to do so much with a few bad cards. You have to be ruthless to end up with better cards. And I said, I disagree, Karina. It's how you play the cards that were dealt that counts. So her question was, do you really believe that life is led by choice and not by chance? And Karina, I absolutely love this question because it speaks to a really important paradigm that I think is really important for people to understand if they're going to consciously create and develop meaningful lives and careers and relationships. Here's the thing. I don't believe it's the events that happen to us that shape or form us, but rather the meaning and the interpretation we give to the events that happen to us and around us and what we do with them. I'll explain what I mean by that. So there's two brothers, right? And they're both fathers, they've both got their own family. And these two fathers came from a dad who was a really abusive father himself. So he used to be abusive towards them, he used to be abusive towards the wife, he used to be abusive towards their sister. And then you've got two fathers today that have grown up of that abusive father. One of the fathers is also abusive to his children and to his family and the people around him. He's an alcoholic and very unproductive and unloving and doesn't foster or create a loving or productive environment for his family. The other now father is incredibly loving, he's incredibly supportive, he's incredibly warm, he's incredibly invested in his children. He shows the utmost respect to his wife all of the time, right? He doesn't raise his voice, he doesn't touch a drop of alcohol. He's incredibly responsible and could be held up as a stellar example of what a father is meant to be. And so this researcher goes to the first father, and he says, the abusive father, and he says, what do you think formed, the father that you are today in terms of how you ultimately treat this family? And he responded by saying, with a father like the dad I had, how could I have turned out any different? The researcher and interviewer then goes to the second father, the really supportive one, the really warm one, who's the brother of the other father. And the interviewer says, what do you think formed your father style, that informed the style which you parent this family with, and that your style of being a husband, and how did you become such an effective father and husband? To which he replied, with the kind of father I had, how could I have turned out any different, right? So it's a really good metaphor for two individuals that had the same father. They had an abusive father. One took that to mean that I have to not touch alcohol or drugs. I have to be incredibly supportive and warm to everybody. I need to be loving. I need to bring warmth and instill confidence in my kids. And the other one took it to mean that's how fathership is done. I'll drink and I'll be abusive and I won't be an effective parent and I won't be a respectful spouse, right? Same event, two interpretations, two different outcomes at the end of the day. It's the same with poker, right? In poker, for poker fans, everybody knows that you don't control the cards that you're dealt, right? But if you look at any championship, World League Poker Championship, anywhere in the world, it's often, so the final table is 10 people. It's often the same sort of 20 to 25 people that end up in the final 10. But these championships start with 10,000 people on a casino floor, and just about every time they get to the final table, it's the same 25-ish that makes up the mix of the 10 on the final table. So did they get better cards every championship that they played, or did they just know how to play their cards better, right, and more effectively? My argument around life is led by choice and not by chance is this. I actually choose on a spiritual level, and we don't need to go into this bit, that we do choose every experience. We do actually choose the cards we're dealt, I believe, on some kind of a level. However, you take that choice out of it and just talk in the practical, tangible sense, physical sense. Even if we don't choose the cards that we're dealt, we choose how we play them. And we choose by what meaning do we give to that event? What does that mean about me? How do I interpret that as happening? And what does this now mean, who am I now going to be going forward as a result of this happening, right? So we can choose to adopt empowering meanings and meanings that make us better people, or we can choose to be defeated by circumstance. And you can take it to the extreme, right? I can show you people, Mandela's a good example, right? He was imprisoned as a terrorist for 28 years, right? I'm 28 years old. So my entire life, Mandela was imprisoned as a terrorist. Now, for most people, I'm angry, I'm pissed off, I've been oppressed my entire life, I've just been jailed as a terrorist for 28 years. My friends and my family have been killed throughout my entire life. So I actually have a right to be pissed off right now. However, if I choose, right, it's all about choice. Life is led by choice, not by chance. If I choose to be pissed off by this, and I choose to be aggressive, and I choose to be angry, is that going to enable me to be the best person I can be and enable me to get the outcome, right? Mandela chose not to be angry, and I'm sure he was on some level, right? But he chose not to be aggressive toward his oppressor, but rather engage in conversations. To the later bits of his imprisonment, they take Mandela out of his prison cell. He'd be in his prison clothes and chains. They'd walk him into a room. He'd sit there with 7 or 8 government officials, and he'd negotiate for the rights of his people in South Africa with 8 government officials versus one person sitting there in prison clothes, right? And he was successful. They took him out of prison, came out of prison. 18 months later, he was the first black president in South Africa history. 18 months out of coming out of prison, right? So trauma happens, right? We all lose family members, people die, relationships end, stuff happens that we're not necessarily controlling in the physical sense. It's how we respond to that and who that makes us, and therefore what we decide to carry forward as a result of being played that card, that will determine how successful we are, how happy we are, how fulfilled we are. None of this is easy. I'm not saying it is, but what I am saying is we have a choice to choose our reality. We have a choice in how we respond to the world, how we respond to events that happen, and it's masterful people are really good at choosing their response, right? Choosing their response, having the freedom to choose, that ultimately go on to be great people that are revered and go on to make significant contributions during their time here on earth. So Karina, yes, I do believe that life is led by choice and not by chance. I'm not saying there's things we can't control. There's a whole bunch of stuff we can't control. What we can control is how we respond to it. What is your view, guys? Respond in the comments below. I'll be there. Let's have a chat. Do you believe that life is led by choice and not by chance? What's your take on it? Hit us up in the comments below. That was 68. Next episode, I'll have Bear here with me to show you guys. Can't wait for that. Thanks, guys. I'll speak to you soon.
I've just actualized a wish that I dreamed as a kid. 'Cause I'm lining up.